Всем привет, с вами Килона, это 13-я серия Memento Mori 2. Продолжим, короче, делать то, что мы делали в прошлой серии. Нам нужно сейчас подняться на лестницу и спустить лифт. А лифт он двусторонний или нет? Странно, ладно. Сначала нужно погрузчик убрать, а потом уже... Окей. Нет. Лифт поднять. Самим спуститься. Одну коробку сюда отодвинуть. Потом ее на лифте поднять вверх. Как все заморочено. Спустить.
I can't do that. I can't reach over that box.
Так, значит, нужно достать как-то порогом. Окей, отлично.
Okay, and the box is up.
Ура. Теперь садимся. И будем сейчас ставить. Не-не-не, чувак, давай сюда. Да. Круто. А мы где? Пролезла все-таки там. Так, и что здесь?
Hard to say where this shaft is leading. It's too dark in there.
Я боюсь, что сейчас кто-то выскочит оттуда, такой страшный. Фонарик нужно спросить у кого-нибудь.
I don't think it's a good idea to search for...
У нее-то сейчас такой голос был странный. Опять. Лара, ты меня пугаешь иногда. Пойдем попросим у них фонарик, если есть, конечно. Мне кажется, из-за такого шума должны разбежаться все соседи.
I need to go over something with you. Do you have a moment?
Sure.
I could use a flashlight.
Hopefully Edwards has one. Every patrol is equipped with one. That is, if he hasn't managed to forget it somewhere yet.
You have a flashlight with your equipment, don't you? Could I borrow it?
Of course.
Отлично. Больше ничего не будем
Thanks for your help. That's all for now.
обсуждать.
Of course. If you need anything, I'll be here.
Пузатые. Пойдем дальше. Странно, почему, зачем она вообще таранила дверь, если можно было подойти к той решетчатой штуке из здания. То есть она была активной. Из здания можно было посмотреть. Зачем вот это все проделывать, я не понимаю. Типа, эти коробки, которые здесь стояли, они мешали, что ли? Ладно.
I don't think it's a good idea to search for some...
Я тебе только что дала фонарик. Ой.
Oh my god. All three of them? All
Oh
three of
God.
them murdered and buried in this cold, damp shaft. And the mark. It's how Max signed his paintings. What's going on here? What should I do?
Это я сейчас сделала так громко. Короче, может быть, я случайно рукой так все заорала. И тут Макс написано. Я знала, что здесь что-то страшное. Почему она не почуяла запаха?
I decided to mark the sign, the one Max used to sign his paintings with, as evidence, because
Не знаю, помечать или нет. Стереть знак. Я не знаю. Мы, блин.
I decided to mark the sign, the one Max used to sign his.
А вдруг в Макса нашего поселился демон? Помнишь? Я сказала, помнишь, как будто сама с собой. Ну ладно. Кто-то нам говорил, по-моему, какая-то бабулька-то ясновидящая, что типа мы у нее спросили, жив ли Макс, она сказала, типа, да, жив, но он не в себе. Вдруг это Макс все делает. Давай сотрем.
I decided to remove that mark that looks exactly like the one Max used to sign his paintings with, because
Поскольку... Вот это, да.
the sign is gone. I hope I did right.
You're really pale. Don't say you didn't expect that. I would have guessed we'd find them somewhere here.
No, not that. It's something else. There's something weird going on here, Kira. Dreadful. Something I don't understand.
You shouldn't be so hard on yourself. We've just found 3 dead bodies. That would shock anybody. Give it some time. It's a lot to take in. Or is it something else?
No, you're right. It's only the bodies. I just need to think a while.
You know what? Go and tell that cop to take you to the hotel. At least he'll be useful. I'll call you later, all right? Get a shower, a snifter, and go to sleep. Agreed?
I guess you're right. Thanks.
О боже, мы сделали все это. Неужели? Я не верю. Столько... Я, наверное... Ну, ладно, я не буду говорить, сколько часов здесь находилась. Пыталась все это... О боже, все. Окей. Все, чуваки, везите меня домой. Я только что стерла улику. Арестуйте меня, шучу. Эй, ты чего? Что-то Ларе вообще плохо.
I need to go over something with you. Do you have a moment?
Sure.
You can cancel the search for those technicians.
Wait, you want to say...
Come with me. You have to see for yourself.
Those bodies, I feel like an idiot. And to think I told you how thoroughly we'd searched. But that's the people I work with.
Какая одержимость.
Well, maybe it would be better not to rely only on those procedures of yours and to show a little initiative.
Yeah, that may be so. Well, if you want, Edwards here can take you to the hotel.
I would be grateful. I need to recuperate a bit.
I understand. You've got a plane booked for tomorrow evening, right? To tell you the truth, I thought you would fly back to Europe without helping us in any way. I owe you more than an apology.
С тобой
You
нет.
have plans for tomorrow? Would you accept an invitation for
Если
dinner?
только это
I
деловой.
appreciate it, but I'd rather not make any plans. Maybe I'll just stay in the hotel.
Yeah, I understand how you feel. I've seen a lot, but I had my first time too. But hey, I'm just a man. You'll be fine. You know what? I'll call you tomorrow and ask if you're alright.
Right. Goodbye.
Он ко мне подкатывает, что ли? Или это просто деловой интерес? Ачивку дали. 3 глава пройдена? Да ладно. Круто. В этой игре очень тяжело достаются ачивки.
The morning's creeping in after a disconcerting night. Alone in your hotel room, you have a lot to think about. What will you put in the report? How can you describe things that scare you so much? Things you don't understand. 3 pairs of pale eyes guarding Max's sign. Oh, how I wish I could tell you that it's going to get better. That the morning will bring us closure. That the wars is over. But I can't, Lara.
Жизнь и смерть.
Come on, sit in the front. Soga can try sitting behind the bars for once. Can't you, Caesar?
Sure, I've never wanted anything more.
Is that allowed?
Well, after all, you're a cop, so what? And Burke wanted us to get you to the airport like a VIP guest. Those are his exact words.
People often misjudge him, don't they? But he's not really a...
Pangaeo? Yeah, sure he is. Selfish, proud as a peacock.
You didn't hear the press conference, did you? How he talked about finding those bodies?
No, why?
Let her hear it.
Wait, I have it in my cell phone. I'll just turn up the volume.
Sometimes he says such bullshit we just have to record it with the boys. But this time it was really hard-ass.
Here it is.
Captain Burke, who found the bodies? If I get it right, local police and the FBI were investigating the place at the same time.
Yes, our department had attacked the crime scene with the FBI. Nevertheless, with their investigation, there's nowhere we can go.
How should we understand this?
I searched the crime scene myself, discussed my results with an expert invited by the FBI from France. Thus, we came to the body. Of course, it's not my intention to praise myself. I only noticed a couple of things and realized a few connections. Nothing that was...
Blah, 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 and he's celebrating himself for at least 5 more minutes.
That's really unbelievable.
You get used to it. I remember the...
All patrols. Code 1071 China-Taun off Wentworth Street.
523, 10-4, we're close to it. We'll check it.
523 10-0.
Это не
There's been a
случайно.
gunshot nearby. We'll just check it and then we can carry on. We do have time, right?
Of course, why not? I'd like to see you in action.
Красиво так.
Should be somewhere around... Look, Burke's car.
Maybe he heard that too and got here ahead of us?
I don't think so. I'll ask headquarters. 523, 1097, Burke's car is here. We require further instructions.
523 10-3. 523. Meeting with the contact. We left particular instructions for no.
What the hell does that mean? We've got a reported shooting here and we're not going to do anything about it? Burke may be in real shit.
523, someone reported the 1071 and we can see a police car. Shouldn't we check it out?
523. Stay with us. We'll try to contact.
Странно, рация
I
шумит.
hope they try his cell phone because they won't reach him in the car.
So we wait. Madame Durand, if it takes too long, we will call you a cab, all right?
Okay, at least I can stretch my legs.
Странно. Я бы хотела побыть одна, иметь время на то, чтобы все обдумать. Но это придется отложить по дороге. Ну, понятно. Пойдем и смотрим. Тот чувак стопудово что-то должен был видеть, который сидит там в белой кепочке.
Listen, if I were you, I'd let that car be.
But it might tell us something.
Burke is funny about his car, so he wouldn't like that. Headquarters is trying to reach him already. He'll definitely report in. You'll see, it's going to be all right.
Я так не думаю, чувак. То есть нам нельзя.
Edwards won't let me. Somehow I need to...
Окей. Давай сначала опросим чувака в белой кепке. Или не в кепке, в чем он там, да. Вот он.
Listen, I'd like to ask you something.
Sure, you're here with those cops, aren't you? I'm glad to help.
Someone reported a shooting in this street. Do you know anything about it?
That was me. I reported it. Because that was not some of our people. And I don't want trouble. I have my business here, my laundrette. Trouble is bad for business.
Who are you talking about?
That big car that turned into the alley nearby. Everyone knows that you don't go there. That is, if Cheng doesn't allow it. Then a little later, maybe 20 minutes, the shooting. We don't have guns. Had to be someone else. So I called.
This is a quiet quarter, isn't it?
Absolutely. No crime, no violence.
И все, он нам больше ничего не сказал. Контейнер.
Containers are nearly full. God only knows when they were last emptied.
Ладно, давай пока с ним поговорим. Попробуем убедить его, хотя у нас доказательств почти нет.
Edwards, do you have a minute?
Sure.
According to the laundrette owner, Burke came in about 20 minutes before the shooting started, and he said that no one from their community was behind it. He says that they don't use guns.
Jesus, that man's bullshit. If they need, they use everything against each other. But the truth is that if he had the slightest suspicion that it was their internal thing, he wouldn't have called us. And the thing with the car, you know what? You better tell Soga.
Окей,
Thanks, that'll be all.
почему Соги? Почему он все время говорит? Ну, ладно.
Officer?
Кто тут главный
Yes,
вообще?
Madame Durand?
Он главный? Или-
Do you come here often, or is it like in the movies? Chinatown takes care of itself.
Movies exaggerate, but the truth is that locals usually keep their business between themselves.
That man from the laundrette saw Burke's car coming, and later he heard the shooting.
Listen, I understand that Burke might be in danger, that we're supposed to do something. But orders are clear.
I don't want you to start searching house by house, but you could search his car, couldn't you?
But you're a cop too, right? Don't you get that we have our orders, so we can't do that?
Right. And what if I do it? Give me your equipment, I'll search it, and we'll know more.
Well, I'm not sure.
Do you understand that Burke could be in grave danger? Do you really think that he'd mind?
All right then, but you have to sign this form about taking over the equipment and responsibility for possible evidence damage. Here you go.
Thanks. And by the way, I've led a couple of investigations already, and there was no damage to the evidence.
Так, нам нужно подписать, да? А ручки у нас нет ручки. Так.
To search the potential crime scene, I have to fill this in. Lots of boxes, but hopefully I don't need to fill them all in.
А, я просто надеялась, что у нас здесь есть ручка.
I don't have anything.
А, ну ладно. Просто у нас... Чем заполнять-то ее?
To search the
Стоп, а вот это что? Понятно. Может быть, нам просто нужно пойти туда и все. Окно машины. Стой, 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 стой. Лара, куда пошла? Пончик.
Okay, if I take one, they look good.
Sure, the doctor told me to stay away from them. So you'll be doing me a favor, actually.
Бери розовый. О, она взяла розовый. Круто. Можем мы... Ладно, не можем. Так, бардачок.
Soga wouldn't like me messing.
Ну ладно, просто ручка. Чем мне заполнять форму? Пончиком, что ли? Ладно, пойдем к машине.
Edwards won't.
Ручка, у тебя есть ручка?
Edwards, do you have a minute? Thanks,
Ладно.
that'll be all.
Пойдем туда посмотрим.
There's a baseball bat propped on the fence. Someone perhaps threw it away. I can see it's cracked.
И все. Велик стоит.
The door is closed. I can see several cigarette butts and the prints of smaller shoes. Someone who went through the soft black mud around the puddles was standing here quite a while.
Окей. Все. Теперь в переулок.
Through the cracks, I can see that the door is blocked by some boards on the other side.
То есть здесь тоже. Это что?
There is some piece of cloth caught up there, or I'd guess it's plastic?
Я думаю, нам он не нужен как-то особо. Пойдем сюда.
The entrance door is behind a strong locked gate.
Тут, в принципе, тоже ничего интересного нет. Такой шум, будто бы песок где-то сыпется. Так, что это за музыка?
The gate in the metal fence is locked by a padlock.
Или музыка это просто так играет сама по себе?
There is a clear smear of some red liquid on the wall.
Кровь. Может, им просто нужно сказать об этом? Вход на склад еще не осмотрели. Или осматривали. А, нет.
There is a box in front of the door. It's almost like someone was trying to get to that glass filling above it, but it can't be opened and it's obviously
А вон тоже что-то
untouched.
красное я вижу. Или это не то? Ладно. И вон там тоже красное. Блин. Ладно, я не могу добраться. Может быть, ему скажем об этом, нет?
Edwards, do you have a...
Давай о стрельбе скажем.
Do you often deal with cases like that?
Like a report of shots being fired? Well, sometimes. You know, there are a lot of guns and even more hotheads.
Пойдем попробуем ручку взять все-таки в машине.
Soga wouldn't like...
А нельзя его как-то попросить, нет?
I don't have anything...
Нечего сказать, окей. Может быть, вот так сделать?
That doesn't make any sense. Soga wouldn't like...
Черт. А вот она, господи.
I'll only borrow this.
Не заметила вообще. Она такая белая на фоне белой газеты. Окей.
Okay, it's done. Like I haven't had enough paperwork in Lyon.
Отлично, все, мы сделали.
Signed. Now the equipment, please?
Sure, it's in the trunk.
Оборудование в багажнике. Ты сам достать не можешь? Вдруг я что-то лишнее возьму.
I'll take the lamp with me. There are good reasons
Я бы взяла с собой весь чемоданчик, чтобы не таскать лишние детали.
if I need to move anything, gloves will come in handy.
И все, да? Все. Пойдем. Быстрее, бегом. Бегом, бегом. Чего ты ходишь? Бегом, сказала. Эй. Ладно. Так.
I don't think.
Ой, чемоданом нажимаю. Ладно.
I should examine it properly. That is blood.
Ого.
There's a blood smear on the door of Burke's car. Edwards won't let me. Somehow I need to make.
Нас уже опустили. Давай скажем ему про кровь, нет?
Edwards, do you have. Edwards, this is serious. There's blood on the door of Burke's car.
Well, Burke is kind of hot-headed, and sometimes it doesn't take much for him to get rough with his informants.
That's all you've got to say? We just assume that this blood doesn't belong to Burke?
Damn. Okay, you better tell Cesar to notify dispatch.
Окей. А сам ты не можешь сбегать? Тебе полезно побегать.
Officer,
Yes?
I found traces of blood on Burke's car.
I'll report it right away.
Хорошо.
523, we found blood on Captain Burke's vehicle. Request further instructions.
523, yes, 23. 523, still trying to contact Captain Burke by radio and cell phone. Carry on searching the vehicle and document everything. Advise.
You heard him. You could just look to see if you can't find something else, but maybe you should just go up to the airport.
There's still time. A taxi will get me there in no time. Also, it's. Excuse me, I have to take this. Yes, Kira?
Are you at the airport yet? I have some interesting information. They found Burke's deserted car in Chinatown and someone hurt his ears. And they can't get him anywhere.
Don't tell me. I'm not surprised, though, because I'm right here on Wentworth Street, close to his car.
What about his disappearance being connected to those murders on Mason Street? Is that enough reason for you?
I did, but.
Anyway, good that you're there. I'm coming right away and we're going to search it.
Wait, are you nuts? I need to catch a plane to Lyon. Why on earth would I start looking for Burke?
Accidents are always here. Don't speculate on it any longer. And thank you. I'm there in a few. You take a look around meanwhile.
That's a pretty wild theory, isn't it?
Burke was preparing to meet a contact and I wanted to tell him something about Mason Street. I overheard him by accident telling it to someone after that press conference.
By accident? And by accident, I'm here, by his car. Little weird, isn't it?
Ее сейчас не слышно вообще. Странно.
My chances of catching the flight have just diminished. I have to do something about it.
Бежать отсюда просто и все.
Laura, you're not on the plane?
Unfortunately, I've got myself a bit caught up in something here. Can you book me the next flight?
Sure, I'll send you a message with the time of departure.
And please, Renier doesn't need to know about this.
I don't see any reason.
Он только что говорил, как будто он рядом стоял, а сейчас опять говорит, как будто был он по телефону. Окей. Ура,
Before I
наконец-то.
start to examine the car, I should make.
Ай, надень перчатки. Так, пакеты.
Cloth bags packed in fives. It seems that one is missing.
В пакет сложили его части тела, разрубленные на куски, да? Это вот там еще какой-то след, похоже. Или это тень просто, не знаю. Ну ладно. Что-то зеленое было, ладно. А, это... Блин, это вот эта штука. Я подумала, это кровь. Окей.
There's an unopened tissue package on the driver's right. I recognize that file. These are the background papers concerning Mission Street. I prepared them for Burke yesterday. Perhaps he took them to the press conference. I can't see anything.
Давай перевернемся на другую сторону. Так, что тут кроме пакетов ничего больше нету? А вот это. Почему желтое сиденье? Оно просто грязное или это кровь? Так, еще газета.
Folded San Francisco Chronicle. Whoever read it got to the fourth.
Окей, нам нужно в этот бардачок залезть.
The glove compartment could use some.
А открыть никак?
The can is empty.
Выпил, значит. Так, и что здесь?
It's not hard to see from the stains that Burke sometimes put food on his front seat. He's said to be really touchy about his car, so why doesn't he tidy it up?
Может быть, в него вселился кто-то.
There's blood soaked into the seat.
Что с твоим голосом, Карла? Офигеть, кровь. Значит, он ел мясо. Логично. Ладно. А, может быть.
More blood. And lots of it. I don't see anything interesting there.
Каждый раз лампу брать. Так, музыка. А, блин, музыка, по-моему, сама по себе играет вообще. Ей пофигу, когда играть.
Nothing interesting here.
А.
Clean. No sign.
Ему следует сказать о крови. Но больше здесь ничего нет. А, так, все. В багажник, может, еще залезть? А, нет, нельзя в багажник. Ладно, давай скажем про кровь.
I don't have anything.
Нечего сказать, да ладно. Ты шутишь?
Edwards, do you have. Could you help me file the evidence we found? I'd like to take pictures.
Of course. You have to wear gloves. You have to put tags on the evidence. And that could be a problem.
Why is that?
How do I forgot to fill them. But you could replace them with something else in the meantime. We do that from time to time.
Значит, сейчас будем вырезать и красить, рисовать разные штучки.
I wonder what I could replace those tags with.
If I remember correctly, the guys use those common remind me post-its.
Not a lot around here.
Well, I don't know then. Maybe you just need a thick piece of paper.
Отобрать у бомжей картонку. Ладно, это мы уже сделаем в следующей серии. Интересно вообще все развивается, все события. В общем, всем спасибо за просмотр. Всем пока.